Most of us need to stop being director, producer, writer. With Selina, I've learned to write for the audience. Selina is one of the most consistent, disciplined actors I've ever worked with. Nelson brings something very fresh into the show. Hi, my name is Reuben Odanga. I'm a producer and director of the award-winning telenovela Selina. Catch it streaming on Showmax.
Selina huyachelewa. Ole wana Nelson. Biko shatu pambao na misumari yote pia.
I think Selina has broken the glass ceiling. In totality, if you look at it, it plays a very important role in the industry, in the space we are trying to build as a film and TV industry, because it's been a first in many ways. It's opened doors for many people. The fact that it's been consistent, it's a show that has been running daily, has also been able to net in a bigger viewership, and the consistency most of the time is what the audiences have just been yearning for. Also, it's a show that relates to the lower card of people, and also it goes way up there to also appeal to the high end or the rich, if you want to say so. And I'm proud for the milestone we've been able to, cover and up to where we are. And with that, there's been, a whole new way of doing things in this country. It makes me very proud to see other stations, trying to do a similar thing. So I think kudos to Maisha Magic East, the head of channel director, head of channel commissioning editors, to just be bold and take an initiative that then 2017, 2018, this was such a new concept. You tell anyone tell you, that will not work. It's not possible in this country, but here we are. We're just about to get to episode 800.
Nimekuja kukuambia kitu ambacho kitakusaidia.
You mean unataka kunisaidia kutatua shida ulioniletea? You want to buy the Mackenzie brand?
La.
What I need people to understand is that in the beginning, none of us could tell how this thing would pan out. And I just want to be honest about it. So I'll be lying to you if I say that, we had a plan and a strategy and, we knew this thing. What we set out to do from the word go is just to do a good show. A very, very good show. And we got a lot of support from Mnet. Season 1, we had a lot of challenges, but even then, if you look at those challenges within the industry, what people were doing, we were still way above average. And so when the show premiered, it just took off because it was able to be different. So we went out and did Facebook Live to create an interaction with the audience. I think must have been the first show to do that. Later on, we did meet and greet of audiences. That is very, very encouraging, especially to see how audiences, and in the day and time of social media, people are able to give you feedback immediately. Have we had our challenges? Yes, we have. We have had very down moments. We have had a lot of criticism on Facebook. I think there was a time where we used to get very negative comments, to 500, 300 comments negative a day. So is it a bad thing? Yes, it is. But I ask myself, 500 people sit down to criticize a show. I think they criticize because they feel very heavily invested in it, and they are wondering why are we not doing what they want us to do. So I don't take the criticism badly. I just think that it's some of the decisions are so technical and so beyond a Facebook or Twitter response. But also, in my own interaction with people, I also realize that beyond social media, there is a whole new audience out there that are not on social media. I think the audiences of the people who interacted with No One But You in the 90s and The Rich Also Cry, I think they're big followers of a thing like this. And they may not say anything, but they follow. So I understand that bit, but also understand there's a bigger audience. There's a small audience on social media who have a microphone, but there's a bigger audience that follow the show. So it's a new space. We are trying to find a way of, making it work for all of us. This might be a challenge, but I don't foresee this kind of style fading in the near future. I foresee that many shows that are coming after Selina will be long shows. Will be 1,000 episodes 1,500 episodes. I think that's where TV is headed. And, you know, the other shows like Pete, Kina, I think they're pretty much heading to the same direction, which is a good thing for the industry. What Mnet are doing into this space is that basically trying to say that, you know, this artistic journey, it's not a by the way, it's a full-time job. And if you must embrace it, you just have to treat it like a full-time job. But also, you know, it is a first, not only in this country, but in this region. So I understand that I take the biggest burden of I have to create a template for every other person who comes after me. So I take the challenges as a learning process. And being that it's a show that is written, it's not like it was long written, it's being written as we go, and it's being written from India. The challenges are always new. We create very local solutions for them. And now I think we know mostly 70% of what works and what doesn't work. I think I can write a book on how to be able to produce a high-end telenovela, a low-end telenovela, what works, what doesn't work, what the audience want to see, what the audience don't want to see. I think also for the longest time, creatives have been writing for themselves. And with Selina, I've learned to write for the audience because that's your first market.
Surprise.
The highlights are several, I think. We won Kalasha 2 times consecutively. I think no one has been able to do that. The special moments, special scenes, we either directed or I directed personally or other directors have done, which I think was spectacular. Episodes that, you know, immediately they ended, we had comments on social media into almost 2,000 or something like that. One of my favorite scenes, I think, in the show is season 3, when Biko fell off the cliff. That was something else. The performance there between Biko, Selina, and Nelson was outstanding. We had a scene where Selina used to co-play a character called Julia. Yeah, and the day she was busted. So that day we shot from 8 a.m. in the morning to around 8 in the evening. And if ideally it was a one scene, it was a one location scene. So we didn't want to break it. And I think her performance that day really, I got lots of respect for how she was able to hold down that role. When we did music video for Nelson in the midst of CBD, I think that was also a very beautiful scene. There was a wedding, and that one I didn't direct it, but I think there's a wedding between Nelson and Selina, and then Selina decides to take off and goes to marry Biko in some church somewhere. I think that was also a very beautiful scene. Yeah, we also have another scene when Patricia confesses to Nelson that you're not my real son. And Nelson tells Patricia, I've known that for a long time, so it's no news. It was quite also another performance. So I've many memories of this show and good moments and good performances.
Umpende na muishi na yeye kuanzia leo hadi milele, kwa mabaya na kwa mazuri, kwa utajiri na umaskini. Umpende na kumfurahia hadi kifo kiwatenganisha.
Selina is one of the most consistent, disciplined actors I've ever worked with. Always on set, always has her lines, always diligent, as in if Selina doesn't have her lines, it's those ones of she's just missed her line, but you know, she's always prepared. And if you have a lead character who has those kind of attributes, it's a favorite for every director and every producer. Nelson brings something very fresh into the show, very talented, very disciplined. We have had days when we really pushed him and he really pushed himself, and the performance was just, top-notch. We have Patricia, very classical. Her background is Phoenix Theatre, so came in with very orderly way of doing things. And then we have Zoe, who was a recast. And Zoe, believe it or not, Zoe had auditioned for that role initially and didn't get it. And later on when she came to the show, all of us were like, why didn't we pick her from the word go? Then we have a guy called Peter Kamau, fantastic guy. You give an opportunity, he runs with it. We have Irene, who acts as Maggie, bubbly, fantastic character. We have Jackie, who I just knew her and was like, come for auditions, let's see how these things plays out. And she just created her own platform. There's Luke, there's Regan, who we've had to change like 2-3 times. So I think I've seen everyone's growth, and I've just mentioned a few. And also over time, we have created very personal relationship. The gel and the growth amongst cast and crew, and not only the artistic part of their lives, but also their personal lives. Seeing people coming for auditions. And the good thing is I have those audition tapes. So I usually make some fun on some of them that they came in, speaking English in Kikuyu. I'll not mention who. And what has happened in this show is that over time, when we started in 2017, people who came in as interns or as supporting roles, they've been able to take up leadership roles with time. So, someone came in as an intern, they shadowed maybe script supervisor. With time, maybe someone moved and they took over that role and they're playing it well. Same in the camera department, same in the AD department. People have moved up now, they're production managers. So there's a lot of that kind of mentorship that was also happening in this project. Skills being passed down to younger generations. And I think I have like 4 interns or 5 interns who came in as interns, and now we've been able to fully absorb them into the space. So just to see the growth from where I sit, I think that has been a very big highlight for me.
Ni nini? Mbona uko na wasiwasi? Kumetoka nini?
Ni Biko.
Biko amefanya nini? Kwani amekwambia kitu kibaya?
Biko anataka kujiua.
Kujiua? Umejuaje?
Si nimemwacha akiandika suicide note. Alafu kulikuwa na gana hapo kando, kitu nitafanya.
So initially I was directing because the contract initially was for only 60 episodes, which I knew would hack. But even the 60 episode, I had a second director. But when we started adding in more episodes in consecutive contracts, then it was very clear that this is something I can't keep doing myself, because I also experience a lot of burnout, because it's a creative process. So if I'm not 100%, it means then it shows. So and I'm not the kind of person who has to hold on. I must do everything. That's really not my thing. So come to season 3, we had to open up that space, because now we are going in for longer episodes and create room for 3 more directors. So in total we have 4 directors, and we shoot 2 units. So we have a director who handles unit B, and we have 3 directors who handle unit A, and the 3 directors change after every 5 episodes. And why do they change? Because directing is a very heavy creative process, so we need them to be fresh in every 5 episodes. So that was the whole season. I still step in and direct once in a while, but it was a plan that we needed to start experiment and see how it goes, and I think it's been working. And we just need to open up those kind of spaces. For the industry to grow, most of us need to stop being director, producer, writer, production manager, caterer, and stuff like that. The challenge has been to make it look so similar, because each director is different. But also it was very important to bring in female directors into the show, because the show is very aspirational in terms of clothes, hair, shoes, the look and feel. And I'll not lie to you, I from being a man, I used to miss on the nitty-gritties of those things. So it was also tactful, and I think it has worked. And we look forward into, absorbing more people into the director's seat.
Shocks. Lakini
Agree. Wewe unafanya ni kama ambaye unanijua leo. Ni harusi ngapi sisi tumeenda na hatujalikwa na tukatoka huko na pesa nyingi? Ni harusi ngapi?
Shocks. Hizo ni zama za kale na zimepitwa na wakati. Agree wa sasa si ule wa kitambo. Mimi ni Dr. Inowa the Mackenzies na siwezi kukuruhusu ukuje kuharibu hiyo harusi hapa.
Selina,